Hello friends, welcome to my tutorial. Today we will see Spring Dependency Injection. First we have to understand what is a dependency injection. It is a design pattern. It is also known as a IOC. IOC is a inverse of control. Now what this design pattern says? This design pattern says you do not create your object but describe how they should be created. You do not directly connect your component and service together in the code, but you describe which service are needed by which component in the configuration file. And then container, when we are talking about the container, so in the case of Spring Framework, the container is a IOC container, is responsible for hooking it all up. When we are applying the IOC, objects are given their dependencies at the creation time by some external entity that coordinate each object in the system. That is, dependencies are injected into object. So IOC means an inverse of responsibility with regard to how an object obtains references to collaborating objects. So let's take an example what we do in our previous Java class. Suppose I have a class A, class B, class C. This is a three class within my applications. Class A require the B object. Class B is required C object. And C has some its own logic. Okay, now you can see here the dependency is injected with the A of B is a tightly coupled. Okay, similar C dependency is injected as a tightly coupled. So what Spring provide? Spring says you are not supposed to create the object here. Okay, you just describe the object in the Spring configuration file. Where you define your object. Suppose here my object is A, is associated with the class A. Suppose my object B is associated with class B. Suppose my object is C, is associated with class C. Okay, so you just define in your Spring configuration file and define that which object is needed by which class. Suppose A is needed by A is required the B object, so define the dependency over there. B is required C object, so define the dependency over here. So we are just defining the dependency in the Spring configuration file. Then Spring IOC container is responsible for hooking it all up. Okay, so there are the three types of the dependencies which is provided by IOC. One is a constructor injection, second one is a setter injection, and third one is a interface injections. But Spring supports two types of the injection. One is a setter injection and second one is a constructor injection. in the case of setter injection, it says inject the properties in the setter method, and in the case of constructor injection, it says assign the dependencies on the constructor. We will see the example on the next tutorial video, so you can get the better idea about how we can inject the properties, the dependency within how we can configure the dependency injections using the setter injection and the constructor injection. So let's see what are the benefit of the IOC and dependency injection. Advantage: first, it is providing a loose coupling. Okay, minimize the code. We are providing the dependencies in the XML configuration file, so there is no need to understand how we are providing how we are not providing a tightly coupled applications for our application. Suppose in future it is not required, just go in the XML file and just remove that dependency from the class, from the XML file. Okay, again it is make your application more testable by not requiring any singleton and JNDI lookup mechanism in your unit test cases. And it is also main thing, IOC container support eager initialization and lazy loading of the service. So I think I hope you like this video, and please subscribe and share with your friends. Thank you so much.